In April of 1986, at the nuclear power plant in Ukraine, the operators of the power plant decided to run the plant in low power without the proper precautions. This drastic human error caused history's first commercial nuclear accident that caused fatalities due to radiation. Cases of 7,000 individuals being diagnosed with thyroid cancer are linked to the explosion of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, so far leading to 4,056 deaths, 46 from direct radiation, and 4,000 from thyroid cancer. The area of Chernobyl also massively affected negatively. The area is now densely and ruined with radiation, which can be fatal to a life exposed to large amounts of it. Other cases of nuclear backlash are the correlation of nuclear weapons testing causing babies in the United States, for example, to have baby teeth containing strontium-90. Strontium-90 can have effects of cancer, meaning the children in the 80s and 90s in certain areas may have baby teeth, giving them possibility of cancer. Nuclear energy, massive backlash, and if an error occurs, which the cons of the usage of nuclear power plant outweigh the pros. Oh, good afternoon. My name is Joshua Perez. I'd like to present that I'm greatly honored to present my topic to you and deeply appreciative of your undivided attention that you respectfully give me. I would like to address the current issue of nuclear energy and its immensely severe backlash to the environment and our safety. I state that nuclear energy's usage and continuous utilization should be terminated because of its horrific recoil. Nuclear energy's risks and cons outweigh the benefits it provides. The use of nuclear energy in the United States should be terminated because of its critical environmental backlash, tremendous cost, a target for terrorism, and a history of accidents. Nuclear power has severe backlash to the environment, as its impact on the environment is horrendous. The process of mining and refining uranium hasn't been a clean process. Actually, transporting nuclear fuel to and from plants represents a pollution hazard. Also, once the fuel is used, you can't simply take it to a landfill. It's radioactive and dangerous. This is stated in the article Pros and Cons of Nuclear Energy by Conservative Energy Future. This evidence states that finding and the action to treat uranium isn't an easy task and takes a toll on the environment. This environmental contamination from mining is caused by the radioactive materials usually found adjacent or with uranium. During some natural disasters such as earthquakes and hurricanes, radioactive materials from mines can contaminate the area. Lastly, miners receive the most risk through inhalation and contact with radioactive materials, potentially harming them. This transportation of the radioactive goods and uranium specifically can become an environmental hazard. These transportation routines are very hazardous since they can lead to accidents even though no accident recorded has led to high radioactive contamination. However, such an accident could happen. Also, transportation and radioactive goods are lacking in overregulation or harmonization when it comes to international transportation. These minor errors can potentially lead to minor and/or major accidents. Secondly, nuclear energy should be curtailed because of its high cost. In the article by UCS USA, they state between 2002 and 2008, for example, cost estimates for new nuclear power construction rose from between $2 billion and $4 billion per unit to $9 billion per unit. These reports state that the price to make these power plants are highly expensive, and the price for them rises drastically. The article also explains that the cost for those still rise more and more. If a new power plant was to be constructed, the price may have been doubled from the $9 billion per unit since the last report, which is dated 8 to 14 years ago. Also, nuclear power plants must have a safety procedures, including repairs often, which adds up to money. Another factor in the cost to the overall price of nuclear power plants is the component that uranium is not infinite. Uranium is not a cheap material to obtain, and it costs greatly to keep replacing it over time. These costs of uranium supply means that the add-on price of these plants are infinite. For the replacement of these expensive materials are costly and can only be stopped if the power plant was terminated. Another reason nuclear energy's risks and cons outweigh the benefits it provides and reason it should be discontinued is the extreme risk of being a target for terrorism. In the mid-1900s, we lived through a war against communism against the Soviets, but now in present day, we're in a significant, frightening war against terrorism. George W. Bush stated in the 2002 Union Address that investigation led to plans revealing attacks on U.S. nuclear power plants from Al-Qaeda terrorist group. Nuclear power plants are designed to contain radiation, not for security, and withstanding a jet plane containing jet fuel. This meaning a nuclear power plant would not be able to withstand such an attack and could cause a catastrophic incident. Such power plants, like in New York, if had a meltdown and a spread of radiation, could lead to a death of 8% of the United States population. Lastly, nuclear power plants have had a history of serious accidents. Such examples of accidents include Chernobyl, as stated before, and the 3 Mile Island power plant. These accidents led to many deaths and huge exposure of radiation to the people around the area. If an accident were to happen, radiation would travel through the water and contaminate the local water source and even contaminate the air we breathe by wind spreading it. Nuclear reactors take many precautions to use, but if any little error is supposed to happen, such as in Chernobyl, a catastrophic accident could occur, hurting the environment and us. Although many may say that nuclear energy is the cleanest form of energy production, mostly because it has the least of releases of greenhouse gases because it replaces fossil fuels. However, the nuclear waste left over from the plant is radioactive and takes thousands of years to break down and decompose. This burnable waste was planned to be blasted out into outer space or embedded deep into a mountain, but it was rejected by most individuals. The big problem of nuclear waste is that it can be used for weapons and highly dangerous as the contamination released from an accidental nuclear meltdown. There's also a massive risk of transporting and handling nuclear waste because of its tedious care and sensitivity. Nuclear waste exposure is also very bad for the people around, as for example, a case in Pennsylvania shows most children around there end up having baby teeth containing strontium-90, an element containing a nuclear isotope leading to children having higher risk of cancer. The children obtain these radioactive teeth because of exposure radiation from forms of living near power plants, close to weapons testing areas, and sites containing radioactive materials. Would you want to have a whole generation of children even bigger risk of cancer? As you can tell, nuclear energy is a dangerous environment. We live in a risk of usage of terrorism, its high cost, and its tedious attraction to accidents and error. Some will say that nuclear energy lasts a long time and powers the nation greatly because of its efficient output of mass energy. However, uranium is not infinite. Uranium is a rare material to find and it's hard to obtain from mining, which these forms of mining harms the environment. Other forms of energy could be used, such as renewable energies, that are way safer than fossil fuels and nuclear energy. Renewable resources, for example, are sunlight, wind, rain, tides, waves, and geothermal heat. These resources are way cheaper and abundant because they can be replenished in a human time cycle. Other sources of energy could be cheaper. Other forms of power could be safer. Finally, other types of exuberance could be less of a risk and does not harm the environment. In conclusion, nuclear energy isn't as safe and efficient source of energy because of its weight compared to risk. However, I do believe nuclear energy is a very useful and efficient, but benefits not exceed over the problems. Its causes. Nuclear energy's usage should be ended in the US or even worldwide because of its prone to accidents. Infinite, insane costs, a target for terrorism, and retaliation to the environment. Nuclear energy's risk outweighs its benefits it provides.
She said thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.